Okay, so good evening. So we will get on to subnetting. Okay, we'll first take up some problems and then look at the rules for subnetting, and then see how you could basically apply on problems. Okay, so now this simple example. Say for example, an internet service provider has requested a block of 1,000 addresses, right? So you know that we could only grant in powers of 2, right? The nearest is I could grant them 1024 address. So 1024 address has been granted to them. So if I'm allotting a block, right, you should know what should be the prefix length in this case. So I know that I'm going to allot them 1024 addresses. 10 bits has to go for the host portion, right? So what will be the prefix length will be, so you know the formula for that, right? 32 minus log 2 capital N. So what is capital N here? 1024 addresses, right? So that is the nearest that you do. So which is basically 2 power 10, right? So log 2 power 10 is basically what? 32 minus log 2 power 10 is 32 minus 10, which is 22. So my n value, the prefix length will be 22. Turn 10, last 10 bits goes for the host portion. The first 22 bits goes for the prefix portion. And so I should allot them a block which is /22. So an available block, say 18.14.12.0/22 is granted to them. And he has now the right to use the remaining 10 bits, 2 power 10, that he can go on to do that. So this is one example to understand depending on the requirement. If the block is not of the power of 2, you try to grant as many number of required bits which is closer to that block requirement, and then calculate the prefix length from the number of bits of host. You could go on to know what's the prefix length, right? This becomes a variable length prefix /22 block, right? Let's now try to look at without the prefix length. Can you now tell me, what's going to be the number of address? The answer is no. It's very important that just given a particular IP, you can't go on to say in which block it belongs to, right? So it's always necessary that you have to associate the prefix value to that. Then only you can identify in which block it belongs to and all that, right? So we are now going to understand what if depending on the prefix length value, right? You now know what's going to be the size of the block that varies, right? And what will be the first address and last address and all that. So given to 230.8.24.56, right? Say suppose the value of the prefix is 16. Okay. In this case, can you tell me what will be so the prefix length value is 60. So can you tell me what will be the number of address in this block, right? First address and the last address in this block. So just try and see. You will know that the first 16 bits is fixed. You can't change. The remaining 16 bits is something that you can play around. So if you set that to all zeros, right? The remaining 32 minus n, 16 bits to 0, it becomes first address. And remaining 32 minus n, the remaining 16 bits, if you set to all ones, it becomes your last address. So this will be the range of addresses that you have in that block, which means 16 bits goes for the host. 2 power 16 possible addresses that you can have in that particular block if you associate with 16. So it's very important to associate to what prefix length it has. If I change the same requirement now and associate a prefix value of say this one of the IP is given and /20. Now can you tell me now what will be the number of address, right, in this particular block that you can have? What will be the first address and the last address? Just take out your note and try out. So you know that the first 16 bits, okay, it's not going to change. The third byte, first 4 bits goes for your prefix part. So expand 24 now. So how will you expand that to binary? 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. It's going to be 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. So in this I've told you now /20. So 16 bits is already gone. 4 bits you have to borrow now, right? So this goes to the network portion. This is not changeable. The remaining 4 bits from the third byte and the last 8 bits, right? You've set all to 0, right? That becomes your first address. So what will be the first address? 230.8.16 value, right? In that third byte, and fourth byte all zeros. So that's going to be the first address. The last address will be the third byte. The last 4 bits will be ones. So this will be what? This will be 15 plus 16. That will be 31. So 31.255. 230.8.31.255. So now look at this. This particular block is of order 20 bits goes for the prefix. The remaining 12 goes for the host. So 2 power 12 number of hosts you can connect. What is 2 power 12? Go on to calculate. It's going to be 4096 address. Right? 2 power 10 is 1024. 2 power 11 is, what is it? 2048. 2 power 12 is 4096. All this mentally have this so that you can quickly do. 2 power 13 is 8092. 2 power 14 is what, 16,384, right? 2 power 15 is 32,000. Just go on, and you could basically do that. You can use a calc C, but it's going to be very interesting as you go. At least till 16, 2 power 16, you're able to say it will be 65,536, right? I think it becomes easier for us to understand the number of hosts you can have depending upon the prefix length. 26, 6 bits goes for the host. So that means it's basically 64 number of hosts you can have. 27, 32 host. 29, right? You just have 2 bits for the host, 4 address. 31 bits goes for the prefix. Only 1 bit, which means you only have 2 host address that you can do. And effectively with 2 addresses, you can't assign to the host because you know the rule. First address is for the identifying the network address. The last address is generally not assigned because it's a local broadcast. So depending upon the prefix value that you associate, the block size varies, right? The number of address in that block varies. Ideally, your network address changes. So it's very important to understand that you have to associate with the prefix length, right? Every router or every routing table needs to have the prefix value also maintained. Okay, that's what this example is. So now let's get on to subnetting. Okay, so subnetting basically, we are now splitting the 2 level into multiple levels. First, you're splitting a network block into sub blocks. So we are called as 3 levels now, right? You have your prefix, you have your suffix, right? This is called as a network prefix, and this is called as a host part, right? So this network prefix, what I'm still doing now is in the suffix, I'm going to borrow some more bits, right? And make that to identify the subnet, because I'm splitting the block that is given into smaller subblocks. And so how do you identify every subblock is you need few bits taken from that. So that's depending upon the requirement of the host in every small block. I could identify how many bits I need to allot for the second level, right? So level 1, level 2, and level 3, right? It becomes a 3-level hierarchy. That's the point here. So again, whatever rules that we applied for our general classless address block allocation applies even for our subnets. Okay, so how does it go? So a large block of address is there, right? And you wanted to split up into smaller subnets, right? So and you have to divide this address between the subnet. You got 256 addresses. You want to now split up into say 4 blocks. Each block is 64 address. Right? I have a Chennai office, I have a Delhi office, I have a Bangalore office, and I have a Kolkata office. But I know that given this particular block 192.168.1, this 24 bits /24 I given to you, right? This is something given to me. Now I can play with the last 8 bits. In that 8 bits, I have to ensure that I have to use all this. So the range of address, you know that it's going to be 192.168.1.0. The first address in that block. The last address in that block is 192.168.1.255. I should not skip any bits. I have to continuously allot. But I know that from 192.168.1.0 till .63, this will go for my first block, subnet 1. Then the subsequent one will be .64.127. Till that I will use for subnet 2. Then 128 till 191, I will use it for subnet 3. Then 192.255, I will use for subnet 4. Contiguously, you have to do such a way that it's not getting wasted. So that is very important. But how will I identify that this is some IP 192.168.1 dot say 189? This IP comes. I need to know whether it belongs to subnet 1 or subnet 2 or subnet 3 or subnet 4. I need to know what is the prefix value. Right, so this is what we are going to now bring in, and we have to identify how many bits goes for extra bits now is going to be borrowed from the host, and what's going to be that prefix value, right, which will identify the first address in that particular block. That's something which is important for us to do. So let's go on and try to look at the cases that's coming in. So as I told you that you have a larger block, the entire world only knows that it's basically a city. Now inside that you have now split it into several subnets, right? Then you need to know in which interface it has to go on, right? So that's something that the routers which is going to connect to different subnets, right, will try to do that. So we have to have the router interface. Say for example, this is a router and this has multiple interface, say 4 interface. Any packet that comes into this interface, you have to redirect now, because say these 4 interfaces are connected to 4 different subnets. This is subnet 1, this is subnet 2, this is subnet 3, this is subnet 4, right? But I need to know, my router needs to know whether this IP packet has to go to this interface or this interface or this interface or this interface, right? For that, we need to know, in its routing table, it also has to store what is the prefix, the subnet prefix. Right, that's what we're going to look at here. So every subnet is going to have a subnet mask, and that subnet mask or the subnet prefix, right? Say I call it as n sub, right? N sub, the subnet prefix, right? The number of bits that is used for the subnets, right? So that's something that we have to apply to get your first address in that subnet, right? And then accordingly route the packet. So let's now look at the design for subnets. Say suppose if you're designing subnetworks, the total number of address granted to the organization is capital N. Let's use that same terminology. The prefix length of each subnetwork is, let us represent it as N sub, right? So in that particular subnetwork, how many number of address you are assigning in that subnetwork? Let us represent it as N, capital N sub. Okay, these are all just for the representations. It's the same rule that whatever that we applied for our block, classless block or classful block, right? That's you are going to the number of address that is going to be there is going to be of power of 2. This rule you already know, right? The prefix length of each subnetwork, if you have to calculate, then you need to know it's going to be 32 minus log 2 n sub. Right, so the number of addresses that you need for each subnetwork, that you basically have to do, and then calculate what will be your subnet prefix or subnet mask from the prefix, right? So that you could do, right? This is the requirement based on your subblocks, what size you want, how many address you want in that subblock, right? For that you need to come up with your prefix length for that, right? So, and always the first address should be divisible by the number of addresses in that subblock. This, if you're doing contiguously, we don't need to really worry about this, right? The first address should always be divisible by the number of address in that subblock. This will stay true if you are doing contiguous allocation. But there is a very important requirement. If I am given a requirement where I have to split up into multiple subblocks, and the size of each of these subblocks or subnetwork is variable. Say I want to split up into 3 subblocks. One block I need 1000 address. Other block I need 500 address. The third block I need only 60 addresses. So when you have got a larger block and you want to want to allot these into subblocks, please ensure that you are allotting it in the descending order. Always look at what is the largest requirement that you have for your subblock. Assign first to the larger subblock requirement. So 1000 address you first allot, right? You can allot only 1024. Then you allot 512. Then you allot 64. Don't do by assigning address to the smaller first and then to the medium and then larger, right? You always assign from the larger. You try to fill up given the larger block to you, right? Always look at the fit where take the largest requirement in the subblock, fit first for him, and then the next largest, like that, right? So this is one of the primary requirements. You will understand as we take up a problem. So the problem that for subnetting, the entire concept to understand, let us take this. So there is an organization. The organization is granted a block of address. So all of you write down this. So he is being granted a /24 block. Okay, this becomes quite easier for us to understand this case. So one of the address in that block is 14.24.74.0. It's a /24 block. Okay, now what the organization wants to do is, now given this particular /24 block, he wants to split it up into 3 subnets. So he wants to have 3 subblocks of address. Let us look at the requirement of these 3 subnets. One subblock, one subnet, he needs only, requires only 10 address. Then the other subblock needs 60 address. And the third subblock, or the other subblock, basically needs 120 address. Right? So given this question, how will you go on to design the subnets or the subblocks? That's basically the critical idea here. Like let's now take one by one now. So given this particular block, the larger block, right? Can you now tell me what is the number of addresses that you have in this block? Right? No, I'm sorry. Number of addresses that is granted in this block. Can you apply and tell me? Right? So how will you do that? Right? You have 24 bits. So the n value is 24. 32 minus n. The remaining 8 bits, right, goes for your host portion. So which means what? First 3 bytes, 24 bits is fixed prefix. This is your network prefix, unchangeable. The last 8 bits goes for your host portion. So you can have totally 256 number of addresses. In that 256 addresses, he now wants to do subnetting. He wants to split it up where one subblock, 10 address, the other is 60, the third is 120, right? So that's how he's going to split up. So he's not going to entirely use it, but let's now identify how you can identify subblock 1, subblock 2, subblock 3, and how you have to grant that addresses, right? And do the prefixing, subnet prefixing there. So given that case, tell me what's the first address of your larger block. Find out. And find out what is the last address. So you know that you have to set all the last 8 bits to zeros for your first address. So it's going to be 14.24.74.0. Last 8 bits, if you set it to ones, that's going to be, the last address. So this is the case of your larger block. Now let's play, the subnet rules. So as you look at here, always assign address, first assign address to your larger subnetwork. And you should, number of address in each subnetwork, right, should be a power of 2. So let's look at the case by case here. So having known the network block size, having known the network prefix, you can also know what is the network mask, default mask of this, right? What will be the network mask if it's 24-bit prefix? Right, the first 3 bytes is all ones, last byte is 0. So it's going to be 255.255.255.0. Okay. So why I'm saying this is, let's now start applying with this network block and then split it up into 3 subblocks. And I'm going to now ensure that I'm going to continuously allot address. I should not waste address, but I will meet up to the requirement that is there by granting in powers of 2. So given 3 subblocks, which block will you first allot? Think. The rule says always allot address to the larger subblock requirement. So 120 is the largest. Then you will allot 60. Then you will allot 10. Okay. So let's now take up. So you're going to take this as a subnet 1, write this as a subnet 2, and this as a subnet 3. But if he needs only 120 address. Okay. So what will you do in that case? 120 address if you need. All right. Let me write down the question again. So